Hello friends and neighbors, we're at the Court of Freedom section, Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Glendale, California. Let's get started. Okay, our first stop today is a Las Vegas entertainer that's originally from right here in California. We're at the grave location of Danny Gans. Gans was a comedian and an impressionist on the Las Vegas Strip. He was billed the man of many voices, very popular in Las Vegas. He was named Las Vegas Entertainer of the Year from 1998 through 2008. He dies at age 52 in his Henderson, Nevada home due to a drug allergic reaction to prescription medications. Just dies too young. I also like to mention that before Danny became a comedian, he was a professional baseball player playing for the Chicago White Sox. Now we're going to head over to a Columbarium section and visit some more famous graves. As we enter the Columbarium, on the left wall, in the middle, under the statue, we'll find a resting place of America Griffith. Actually, her stage name was America Chadester. She appeared on the silent screen in films such as Scrambled Wives in 1921 and Sea Raiders in 1922. Man, the guy on the left kind of looks scary, but they put a lot of makeup on him for the silent films. And then under America's name, Edward H. Griffith. This is him on the top right corner. He was a film director, motion picture director. He directed 61 films from 1917 through 1946. Thomas and Frances Cooney were America's parents. Okay, now we're going to head to the opposite wall. But along the way, here's Robert Taylor, but we'll come back to him later within this video. Okay, the opposite wall, we have Marvin Aubrey Davis. He was a motion picture art director and production designer of the 1950s and 60s. He joined the Walt Disney production in 1953. He was heavily involved in the design of both Disneyland here in California and Disney World in Florida. I know you may ask, but I don't know who the Cottrells are. Just outside this Columbarium, these doors on the left, that's a locked private area. Sammy Davis Jr. and many others are buried behind these doors, but the door is locked. Moving right along, we're outside the Columbarium of Courage. As I enter this area, back far left corner is an actor by the name of Rand Brooks. His big fame came as he played the part of Charles Hamilton in the 1939 film you may have heard of, Gone with the Wind. He later admitted he despised the role because he wanted to play much tougher character parts. He marries Lois Laurel in 1949, the daughter of Stan Laurel. They have a son named Arlington Rand Brooks III in 1949, a daughter named Laurel Rand, born 1950, and I couldn't find any information about the children or pictures or anything. As we continue our tour, we've moved across the cemetery. We're on the other side. We're now at the Columbarium of Heavenly Peace. And as we enter this area, on the immediate left up above, we'll find the resting place of Wooster, Frank McGrath. Frank was an actor and an occasional stunt double. He played the part of Charlie B. Wooster, the cook, for all 8 seasons of Wagon Train. I remember him in the Don Knotts movie, The Shakiest Gun in the West. I mentioned earlier he worked as a stunt double. Look how closely he resembles actor William Baxter in this picture. This is Baxter on the left. Some mistakes Frank for William Baxter, and many thought they were twin brothers. Frank dies of a heart attack at age 64 in Beverly Hills. And then right next door, just a few rows over, up towards the top, we'll find the final resting place of George Archainbaud, who was a television director. He directs the 1932 film 13 Women, starring Myrna Loy. This movie is about ethnic discrimination and revenge. Also directs the 1932 film The Lost Squadron. This is a thriller about how Hollywood stunt flyers risk their lives making movies. Okay, we'll stay right here within this columbarium. We'll head back a couple of sections straight to the back. And on the left-hand side, or actually the right-hand side, we'll find a final resting place of Don Andrissi. Don and his brother Dick were part of the family acrobatic group in the 1950s. However, they wanted to change their career. They wanted to start singing, wanted to have a singing career. So they moved out here to California. They ended up signing a contract with Delphi Records and had very little success. So they thought they would shift gears and start working as songwriters. They had success with Never My Love. They also wrote the theme song for Nanny and the Professor. Don is buried right here with his parents, Verna and James. Does anyone remember the 1961 film West Side Story? Well, here's an actor, the final resting place of Jose de Vega. He also appears in Blue Hawaii. I think that came out in 1961. He makes appearances in Wagon Train, Bonanza, Mission Impossible, and then the 1970s, I think it was late 70s, television series Heart to Heart. Now close by in the back section, we'll find the final resting place, Johnny Mack Brown. He's a college football player, plays for Alabama. Man, check out these shoulder pads. There's just not much there. That's going way, way back. He becomes an actor based on his rugged good looks. He acts mainly in Western films. He stars in the 1940 film Son of Roaring Dan. Then he stars with Tex Ritter in the 1943 film Raiders of San Joaquin. Later in life, he becomes an insurance agent. Poor guy. Moving right along, our next stop is an actress who had a 50-year career appearing in over 100 films. We're at the location of Joan Blondell. She's nominated for an Academy Award in a Jane Wyatt movie, The Blue Veil. She's nominated for the Best Supporting Actress. This is a 1951 film. Towards the end of her career, she appears in the movie The Champ. Came out in 1979. This is a very good movie. I remember seeing it way back in 79. Towards the back wall, up above, we'll find another Hollywood beauty, Toady Ames. After graduating from high school in Oklahoma, she immediately gets on a bus bound for Hollywood. It just didn't take long for photographers to notice her beauty and hire her to model lingerie and swimsuits in glamour magazines. Later, she finds work as a stand-in for Barbara Steinway. She has starring roles in the film Our Man Flint, a 1966 movie. And then another movie came out in 1967, In Like Flint. Next door, we have Spangler Arlington Bro, better known as Robert Taylor. Robert Taylor was one of the most popular leading men in Hollywood. He was under contract with MGM, making $2,500 per week in 1936. That's a wheelbarrow full of money, by the way. Here he's pictured with Jean Harlow. He was married to Barbara Steinway. They later divorced. He marries Ursula Theis, a German film actress. Robert Taylor smoked 3 packs a day since he was a boy. Dies of lung cancer in 1969. Right next door to Robert, on the way out, we'll stop by. This is Lucien and Popeye Andriette. She was born in 1899. This is the son, Leonard, born 1913. So what was she, 14 or 15 or so? Pretty young. Anyway, Lucien is a much sought after cinematographer in the movies. Popeye was a 20s and 30s actress. Well, thanks for dropping by today. This takes care of all our columbariums. Everybody needs to be remembered.